Happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Yeah, boy. What's up? This is Happy Hour. I'm your host, Russell. I'm talking about all the different items that we have on hotnewstalkradio.com, and we have quite a lot. The number one item that we have, of course, is the 1999 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's the 99 seems to have been kind of a good year for cars because I've driven vehicles from 99. In fact, almost all of the cars I've ever driven were from 99. I don't know how that worked out, especially since they're almost as old as I am. Pretty weird, but it's going for not very much at all. In fact, almost half off. In fact, half off it is. In fact, it's $3,500, $3,500 for this Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's red. It's a nice sort of really bright red color. It's not the darker red that a lot of auto manufacturers like to use. This is a sort of a bright red, really kind of a 90s red, if that makes any sense. It really has that 90s look to it. And it's 1999 is the year model Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's a red exterior. The trim package is a Laredo 4-door SUV package. It has a 4-liter 6-cylinder engine, automatic 4-speed, and it runs on gasoline, not diesel. It does have anti-lock brakes, 4-wheel drive, cassette player, center console is also available, cruise control, exterior entry lights, exterior mirrors, which are powered, of course, front air conditioning, front airbags. It has 2 front airbags, which, you know, you'd expect that. It has a lot of interesting stuff that you wouldn't expect on a car that old, it has a... Well, tachometer is what you would expect, but it does have 16-inch alloy wheels and a window defogger in the rear. So the only thing that's really missing is a CD player, but you can easily put one of those in there. You can even put a Bluetooth radio in there for under $100 easily. So it's not really a big deal to upgrade the radio, but as it is, Cherokee, and that thing will probably get you anywhere you want to go. And as far as mileage goes, it's 189,658 miles is what's on it right now. And that's not bad at all for a vehicle this old. Actually, I would expect more miles to be on it, but there you go. It's the Jeep Grand Cherokee going for $3,500 right there on Hot News Talk Radio. Just click on the half off link. It's half off on Hot News Talk Radio, and we are AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio, and we're everywhere. You can listen live to Hot News Talk Radio at hotnewstalkradio.com. Download the TuneIn Radio app and search for Hot News Talk Radio. Hot News Talk Radio is on Twitter, where you report, the world decides. AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio. Save half off now. Go to hotnewstalkradio.com, of course, and click on the half off link for great deals. Hot News Talk Radio saves you money. That's AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio. And we have a lot of items up on hotnewstalkradio.com. For instance, we have Jets Pizza gift certificates, $25 for $50 worth of certificates. So again, it is true 50% off. It is a true half-off deal. For $25, you get $50 worth of certificates for Jets Pizza. So you can spend only $25 and get double that in pizza. And Jets Pizza probably has the best pizza in town when it comes right down to it. And that's there's really no bones about it. You know, Jets Pizza has some of the best pizza in town, and it's unbelievable that they're a chain. When I found that out, I was astounded because I've been in there a few times, and I thought, there's no way these guys are a chain. They had to show me pictures of other locations to That's Jets Pizza, and there's one right down on Hickson Pike here in the Chattanooga area. Oh, here's a cool sign that you can get for $125 if you want to rep the Coors Light brand, which is the official that I want to quench my thirst. I usually don't think of beer. I usually don't think of anything alcoholic for doing that. I usually think of like lemonade or sweet tea or something, not necessarily beer. But if you're one of those guys who does that, you can you can get this sign, the Coors Light sign. It'd be good for like a man cave or something, you know? Like people nowadays, they have those man caves in their basements where they have their big screen TVs and they got their Xbox 360s. Well, I guess they have Xbox Ones nowadays, and they have their Blu-ray player and their home theater sound system by Bose and all that stuff. So if you have a mini fridge in there that's just stocked to the brim with Coors Light, you can get this sign and you can drink Coors Light with this sign on while you're watching NASCAR, and it's the perfect thing for you. $125 for the Coors Light sign. Now, for $25, you can get a Cell Surgeon gift card that's worth $50. So you get $50 worth of repairs for only $25. This is something that I might be making use of because I have quite a problem with my phone here where the headphone jack is not wanting to work right. I plug in my headphones into the headphone jack on my phone, and it gives this weird like clicking sound. I have to turn the volume all the way up to get any sound out of it at all. And sometimes I think the magnet is stuck on the external speaker because it'll just get hung up, and I have to sort of tap it to get it to start going again. So I don't know. The phone's kind of old. It's about maybe 2 years old now, so I'm thinking about getting a new one anyway. But I'm probably going to get this one repaired so it'll hold out for when I can get a new one. And I'm probably going to go to Cell Surgeon to get that done. So Cell Surgeon is in the Northgate Mall area. $25 will get you $50 worth of repairs from Cell Surgeon. There's a lot of cool stuff here on Hot News Talk Radio. I'm a coffee guy. I'm very much a coffee guy. In fact, I just made a pot the other day, just a few seconds ago, actually. I've made plenty of coffee the other day, too. But just today, I made a bunch of coffee, and I grind it myself. We're on a subscription thing from Amazon Prime, so we just get coffee in the mail every month. So I have this nice fair trade, freshly ground coffee that I make, and I grind it myself. But sometimes I don't have time for that. Sometimes I just don't have time. I come into the office, maybe I'm a little bit late. Maybe I came in at 12, or rather at 10:40, and I have to be on at 11. So I think, man, I need coffee to stay awake. What am I going to do? Well, what I would use is something like this. This is a Brew the Perfect Cup of Coffee every time, $5 for this thing. And it's one of those pour-over brewers, if that makes any sense. It's 10 single-serve brewing coffee filters. So what happens is you pour hot water over this thing, and it brews coffee straight down into your coffee cup. And on the box, it's called Rombouts, but on the box it has some Hebrew script on it. Sort of a German-sounding name. Perhaps it's Yiddish, but Rombouts is the name of it. Really cool script too. Looks very old German script, kind of cool thing on it. And it's a brew the perfect cup of coffee every time for $5. Can't really go wrong with that. Now I know we make tea all the time here in the South, right? Like we are always making tea. I don't know any southern household where there's not tea at some point in their house, right? There's just always tea. Somebody's always making tea. Well, you can get tons and tons of it from Lipton here for $24. You can get a gigantic package of Lipton tea. They'll last you a long time here from Lipton, and it's green tea that you can make, blended with a hint of natural flavor. Not sure what that would be. This delicate tea is an invitation to relax, they say on the box. It's from Lipton. It's in a big old yellow box, and it has a picture of a teacup on it with some Lipton tea packages on it. So you already know what you have. Now, when I'm going to collect money, I usually bring a baseball bat with me. But I've noticed in past trips that baseball bats don't really have as much reach as I would like. A golf club, on the other hand, has quite a lot of reach, and you get a lot of momentum with it because of the heavy head that it has, and you can really crack some skulls with it. So I'm thinking about getting this golf club set for $250, so you can use that to really break some skulls. But no, really, if you're getting into golf, you're wanting to get into golf club sets can be really expensive. I've seen golf clubs go for $200 a piece. So here you can get an entire golf club set for $250, and it looks to be in pretty good condition, although it is, of course, used, but it does look to be in very good condition. It's a golf club set here for $250 on hotnewstalkradio.com. By the way, the way you buy the products here on Hot News Talk Radio is you put your name, the product name at the top, description, which is optional, the price of the item, and then your name, and then your contact number or email into the field at the bottom of the page, and then hit submit. And we'll get back to you as soon as we can with an American English-speaking individual to answer any of your questions and discuss your payment options. So there's many different ways you can pay. You can pay either to the vendor directly, pay us, and then we'll pay the vendor. A lot of different ways you can do it. And the reason we do it this way is because we don't want people's personal information to be put out over the internet. That's just not very safe. We don't really go in for that. So that's why we have the system that we've set up here for Hot News Talk Radio, where instead of sending out your information over the internet, which is really not very safe, you can do it instead over the phone with a individual who speaks your language as well. So that's a pretty good way to go about it. And that's how we're all about it here on Hot News Talk Radio. Well, looking at the weather right now, I know a lot of people are going to be going to Lake Winnie today. My sister and my parents are all going to Lake Winnie today, but it's downright almost chilly. I noticed that when I was coming in today. I was thinking, man, I should wear a jacket today. It's really, really a lot cooler than I would expect it to be. But it's 61 degrees right now. The temperature is supposed to rise up to the, actually it's supposed to rise up to the mid 70s by 6 or so today. So 77 is a high that's projected. I don't think it'll get that high. It depends on what the cloud cover's like, but 77 is a high projected for today, and 53 is the low. For tomorrow, 84 is a high, and 59 is a low on Saturday. And on Sunday, 87 is a high, and 66 is the low. And for Memorial Day, 20% chance of precipitation, 88 degrees is the high, and 68 is the low. And we're probably going to be seeing temperatures of about 86 by later in the day on Monday. But in the early morning hours, it's going to be in the 60s. It's going to rise up to the 70s by 12, and then the 80s by around 40. So we're looking at the different items that we have here on Hot News Talk Radio, and we actually have quite a lot. A sewing machine for $25. It's a genuine Singer sewing machine that normally would go for $50, but here on Hot News Talk Radio, it's going for a mere $25. So it's a really great deal that we have going on here on Hot News Talk Radio. It's a Singer sewing machine, and it has quite a few different settings on it as well. So if you are into sewing things, but you're not really into the manual labor aspect of it, you can get this Singer sewing machine. It's a Quick Fix branded one. That's not the brand, pardon me, but this is a model. It's called the Quick Fix Singer sewing machine, and you can get that for $25 here on Hot News Talk Radio. And they advertise that it even sews with monofilament as well. I don't know what that means, but that might mean something to somebody. I'm not a seamstress myself. I couldn't really get into that, but maybe I could if I had one of these. Now, something that I constantly have trouble with is actually boiling water, because I'm so bad at cooking that I just can't boil water. I'm really bad at it. Well, for $10, I can solve that problem with a Hot Shot hot water dispenser. It heat and dispense buttons that are really easy to use, and it's for simple operation. They say it heats water fast for, say, noodles that come in the cups, the styrofoam cups. You can use it for that. That's probably what I would use it for mostly. You can use it for oatmeal. You can make it hot chocolate. You can even make instant coffee. I don't know why you'd want to do that, though. Instant coffee is not very good. But you can do that, all of that with the Hot Shot hot water dispenser from Sunbeam. You can get it on our website for $10 on hotnewstalkradio.com. Now, if you want to advertise that you're open, but you don't want to spend all that money on neon signage, I know neon's expensive and it burns out after a certain amount of time and it consumes quite a bit of power. Well, we have your problem solved for you here on Hot News Talk Radio. For $75, you can get a brand new in-box $150 retail value Mitaki Japan. And it looks very professional. It plugs in with a DC power adapter. It looks like it hangs from a chain, although I'm sure you can hang it any other way you wanted to. And it's an open sign. That's all it is. It's an open sign. What more could you ask for? But it's made out of LEDs. It uses LED lighting, so it's probably going to be a bit brighter than neon. It's not going to quite look the same as neon, but you'll be more up to date if you have this open sign, because then all the kids will think you're hip and with it, which you will be if you have this LED open sign. Now, if you want to sort of go backwards and not be hip and with People are starting to get back, starting to get an Australian accent. People are starting to get back into grandfather clocks. I've noticed. I keep seeing them for sale on Craigslist, and people keep snapping them up. These grandfather clocks are really a good way to add some class to your room. It's a beautiful grandfather clock for only $600. Lots of brass on it, lots of brass coloration, and it's an analog clock, of course. It being a grandfather clock, it uses mechanical operation, so it's as well. You can see the mechanical pendulum in operation. Clock configuration, and it has a sigil on top that appears to be a globe as well. It's a beautiful grandfather clock for only $600 as well. That's right here on Hot News Talk Radio. Now, here's something kind of cool that you don't normally think of being worth a whole lot, but they actually are. Is an antique set for $24 of unopened Pepsi long necks. Yeah, no, really, that stuff is actually worth quite a lot. They're going to charge $7.99 and get it all configuration of the bottle from Pepsi, and they definitely don't make that anymore. It's in glass bottles in a 6-pack, and those are actually worth quite a lot. They're unopened as well. They still have the old Pepsi in them, so I don't recommend drinking that. I would not buy this for drinking purposes, but you could probably save them and make a pretty penny on them later on. So this might actually be sort of a good investment for Antiques Roadshow or something else later on. And these are actually worth quite a lot. I've seen a lot of videos about these, oddly enough. People are into some interesting things, and sort of vintage bottles are kind of one of the things that people tend to be really into. We also have for $30 the 100 years anniversary Coca-Cola set for let's see, there's 6 of them in the package, and it's going for $30. They're also unopened with the standard, glass bottle and metal bottle cap. It's 100 years, and it has the Chattanooga skyline on the box as well, celebrating 100 years of Coca-Cola for $30 right here on Hot News Talk Radio. We also have the ultimate guide to motorboats, including fishing boats and personal craft here on Hot News Talk Radio, the ultimate guide to motorboats. I don't usually think that much about motorboats. Maybe I should, because I live so much near a pretty major river, but people are really into motorboats around here. So if you're sort of wanting to get into motorboats, you can get this book, which is the ultimate guide to said motorboats, including boats and personal craft, written by Barry Pickthall. And you can get that for $20 here on Hot News Talk Radio. That's AM 1240, and we are everywhere. Listen live to Hot News Talk Radio at hotnewstalkradio.com. Download the TuneIn Radio app and search for Hot News Talk Radio. Hot News Talk Radio is on Twitter, where you report the world decides. That's AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio, and you can save half off now. Go to Hot News Talk. It's AM 1240 at Hot News Talk Radio, and we have a lot of great programming as well here on Hot News Talk Radio. We have Don Imus in the morning. We have Laura Ingram as well here on Hot News Talk Radio. She's been interviewing a lot of presidential candidates. She's been talking a lot about Jeb Bush, even though she's not really a fan. She's a personal friend of his, but she's sort of on the fence about him as a political person. She's really not willing to say anything bad about anybody, which is kind of funny to me. And her show is Laura Ingram. And Laura Ingram's show, actually, is what it's officially called. It's from 9 to noon here on Hot News Talk Radio. From 11 to noon on Tuesdays, right now on Tuesdays, we have Real Estate University with Eric and John, where they talk about the real estate and real estate investment markets. From 12 to 1, we have my show, which is coming up after this one, Digital Drive. We talk about technology and quite a bit more, and we're going to be talking a lot about the USA Freedom Act and how it's not that at all. Why there's been filibustering regarding the USA Freedom Act, and why the extension of the Patriot Act would be a terrible, terrible idea. And free markets here on Hot News Talk Radio. He's very much into nugacentrism, which is the view, because the local economy is much more sustainable than the national economy. And he talks about that here on Hot News Talk Radio. And Sean Hannity is on after that. Then Hot News Now, which is me. I'm back on Hot News Now from 5 to 6. We talk about the local news, the national news, and the regional news, and the weather, and the traffic, all right there in 1 hour on Hot News Now from 5 to 6. And then from 6 to 7 is Cowboy Up with Tex, where he talks about the day's events. On Thursdays, we have Texas Weekend Roundup, and he's been going to a lot of different events. He's been interviewing quite a few people. He's been doing quite a lot of work on the ground for us here That's AM 1240. And again, after that is Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity comes back from 7 to 9 to talk about what he was talking about. Again, real quickly, 77. Yeah, 77 degrees right now. The temperature's gone up pretty significantly just in the past few seconds. 77. In mind for your trips out over the weekend. Saturday, 84 is the high, and it's going to be getting up to about 73 by 12 p.m. on Friday. And Sunday, there's no chance of rain. 88. This is Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. Go to hotnewstalkradio.com. Click on the half off link to see all of our great deals. Get the TuneIn app on your smartphone, be it an iPhone, Android phone, Windows phone, BlackBerry, whatever. You can search for us on the TuneIn app at Hot News Talk Radio, and you can listen to us streaming live over the internet right here on Hot News Talk Radio.
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Don't worry, just relax. You need a car. Come to Automax.
My wife and I keep the cost down. We sell a quality vehicle at a great price. Our overhead is low. I have no employees, so I can keep my costs down. In turn, the consumer gets a better price. Everything that I sell is emission ready. We really try to go the extra mile for our customer. I don't have to pay an employee commission. I don't have to pay somebody to come out here and wash my cars. You know, I do it all from buying to selling from A to Z. I don't have the overhead where I have to raise the price on my vehicle to cover costs. Here at Automax, you're going to guarantee that you get credit. As long as you're making those payments, you're going to build on your credit. Unlike the buy here, pay here's where they don't report to credit bureaus, we report to all three credit bureaus. The subprime lenders that we deal with, you don't have to have any credit, or you can have bad credit. You can even have a bankruptcy, a repossession.
Don't worry, just relax. You need a car. Come to Automax.
Do you feel better outside your home or business than in? Indoor air quality is important. Mildew, mold, smoke. Cleans HVAC systems using 127 definable duct busters steps. Let Mark Thompson address the indoor air quality at your business to help reduce employee illnesses. Prevent fires by cleaning your dryer vents. Mark and his parents, Dick and Joan Thompson, have been building our local economy and helping local people with HVAC systems 16 years. Ducts, indoor air professionals. Call 876-9907. 876-9907. Ducts. Call now.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
You love the best way to live out the ideals of self-government and self-determination. Join me, David Toulis, weekdays 1 to 3.
Hot News Talk 1240.
Love your neighbor, buy local.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
Hot News Talk 1240.
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
All right, Hot News Talk Radio, what's going on? This is Half Off here on Hot News Talk Radio. We are happy hour. Pardon me, this is happy hour here on Hot News Talk Radio. Always get it mixed up. I'm Russell. We're talking about all the different cool stuff that we have on hotnewstalkradio.com. how much the item costs, and your name and the name of the item and how much it costs, and a contact number for you or email, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. You don't have to put in your credit card information there. We'll cover that later, and we'll take care of you there on Hot News Talk Radio so that you can buy stuff without having to worry about putting your personal information out over the internet, because that's no fun, man. It's just not fun to put your personal info out over the internet. So we try to keep you covered in that regard as well, so you can make a secure and safe purchase here on Hot News Talk Radio. We also have the number one item that we have for sale on Hot News Talk Radio is a 1999 Jeep Grand Cherokee, which was a red 1999 Jeep Grand Cherokee 6-cylinder 4-liter automatic 4-speed transmission. It takes gasoline, not diesel. It's a 1999 year model from Jeep. It's a Grand Cherokee. It has 189,658 miles on it. Its stock number is 5296, and it's a 1999 year model. It has analog brakes, 4-wheel drive, cassette player, center console, cruise control, exterior entry lights, exterior mirrors, which are powered, front air conditioning, intermittent multifunction remotes. So basically like a key fob that unlocks the doors is what that means, and tilt adjustable steering wheel as well, which is really nice. I like the tilt adjustable steering wheels because I don't like the telescopic ones that just come in and out. The Saab 9000 or 900, I can remember. I think it's 9000. The Saab 9000 had this telescopic steering wheel, and I really like that car, but it just has this telescopic steering wheel, and it drives me nuts. And the 1999 Jeep Grand Cherokee doesn't have that. It actually has a tilt adjust steering wheel, which is so much more convenient than the telescopic ones, because the telescopic ones, they just come out and in, and it stays at the same angle. So you're sort of driving like the Pink Panther trying to drive this thing, and I don't like it. So the 99 Jeep Grand Cherokee does not have that problem. It's a tilt adjust, and it might seem like a minor pet peeve. These things might seem like minor issues, but when you own this car, you think about these things, and you think about the different qualities that the car has. And the Jeep Grand Cherokee, this particular edition, they really went all out on it. They didn't mess around. It's the trim package is basically a Laredo. The Grand Cherokee and the Laredo, Grand Cherokee and the Laredo are not very different, but the Grand Cherokee, I believe, is a little bit more upscale than the Laredo was. And so it has a little bit more extra options added in there. Really nice color, though. I like that red, because a lot of cars, when they have red, it's really sort of a dull, sort of dark red, and I'm not really into that. This is a really bright 90s looking red. You know what I mean? Like the 80s and 90s have such brighter colors than the 2000s did. Like in the 2000s, I don't know what happened, but people just decided that we need to sort of dim it down a bit. They sort of took the dimmer switch and turned it down. I don't know why they did that, but this car is not in that style. It's a very bright red. I really, really like that color. It's really, really cool. We have a lot of neat items here on Hot News Talk Radio. One of the ones here that's really good for contractors, but it was built volts, which is, wall socket voltage, and it's to pay for this particular unit. It's a very, very nice unit, if I do say so myself, and it's got lots of different cabling. It has alligator clips, a really big alligator clips, has all sorts of different, looks like some Mariner usage type power jacks. I don't know the proper word for them, but it has a lot of different power options in terms of jacks and plugs and such. And you can buy that on Hot News Talk Radio for only $999, and it'll put out up to 120 volts. This would be good for charging phones, your satellite phone, maybe different radios, all sorts of different things. This would be good for charging them. And it's only $999 here on Hot News Talk Radio, and it's an OD green color. Now, OD green tells you a lot, actually, about Era. That's kind of the funny thing. Right around the Desert Storm era, we started going for that desert drab sort of thing. Before that, we were using OD green or olive drab. And OD green is what they would use sort of in the 1980s and before. So this tells me that this unit is probably either early 90s or late 80s. But it looks to be in really good condition, because I would surmise that it was built last year if it weren't for that color. So it's a very, very nice color, and it's very new looking. And it appears to be water resistant as well because there's a rubber gasket around the lid of the thing. So it looks like it might be water resistant as well. But don't quote me on that. Of course, inspect it before you buy it. You can buy it here on Hot News Talk Radio. Go to hotnewstalkradio.com and click on half off, and you can see all the different items that we have for sale. It's about halfway down the page here. We have a $30 handmade necklace by Chrissy's Treasures. It's a purple necklace in color. It has square sort of gems and round beads and clear crystal. This is the kind that has sort of the spring-loaded switch that you pull down, and then the little loop comes out. That one is so much easier than the non-spring-loaded ones, where you sort of have to load it in there yourself. I've dealt with pearl necklaces that were that way. It's just, not that I've put them on. Of course, I was putting them on for other people, but my gosh, those are obnoxious, and that's not what these are. So these are the easy ones to put on. I really like that style much better than the other ones. It's funny how the little things matter. You know, little conveniences matter so much more than a lot of the big features. You know, you can have all the bells and whistles, but there's just this one thing on it that drives you nuts. And this doesn't have that, and I like that a lot. We also have a $30 bracelet from Chrissy's Treasures, which is sort of a pink and purple color scheme, more light, good for a summery type thing, spring and summer outfit perhaps. Has silver on it. And it's $30 bracelet from Chrissy's Treasures right there on Hot News Talk Radio. We also have $15 earrings handmade by Chrissy's Treasures on hotnewstalkradio.com. $15 earrings. They are blue, white, and purple, sort of a light purple here on hotnewstalkradio.com. $60 will get you a handmade beaded watch, also by Chrissy's Treasures. Very nice looking watch, very classy. It's we also have a $20 gift set, which includes Edible Brooklyn Cookbook, or rather, Edible Brooklyn, the cookbook. So if you're into Brooklyn and eating it, then you can get this cookbook. It'll tell you all about different things that they eat in Brooklyn. And Brooklyn's a very eclectic place. You know, I've actually been. I think I may be the only person in the studio that's actually been to New York City. I'm not sure, but New York City is a really interesting city. And when I was in Brooklyn, I bought pizza. Actually, I got genuine New York pizza when I was in Brooklyn. Really good stuff. I paid like $17 for a slice, of course, because it was in Brooklyn and everything's expensive. But I can say firsthand their Brooklyn cuisine is quite good. It also comes with a tea blend as well, and something that looks like a sort of a pillow type deal as well. You can get on Hot News Talk Radio for $20. $50 to get you a sword. Now, this sword is something I've had my eye on for quite a while, actually, mainly because the design is really interesting. I myself am a tad bit into martial arts, as some people call it, just the arts. I think that's pretentious. Don't do that. But for for $50, you can get this sword that would actually look in the Sai, actually. Not really because of any sort of utilitarian use. It's not a very practical weapon, but it's just really interesting and really cool. And I'd probably take that as an aside class, but it's a really neat looking weapon. It does appear as a handguard that juts out and up on either side. And in martial arts, they would use that actually to catch a sword and get it out of the grip of the attacker. So you'd use it for catching and then twisting out of grip. And it's a really, really interesting tactic. I really like reading about that. But for $50, you can get that sword here on Hot News Talk Radio. We also have a glue gun here for $4. You can't really go wrong. $4 for a Pitbull glue gun, 10 watts. It's easy, quick, and versatile for handing or for handing jobs, for toys and models, for artificial flowers, for decorations, furniture, woodworking, cardboard, pretty much anything you could ever use hot glue for. You can use this glue gun for it. It's 110 volts, 220 volts also, and it's 10 watts. So you can use it in European wall sockets and American wall sockets. What do you know? These would be good for electronic projects as well. Hot glue actually works really well as an impromptu insulation. If you have a bunch of bare wiring and you're pretty if I were you, but that's just me. Mini spotlight you can get. It has 17 LEDs for $10 here on Hot News Talk Radio. It's a mini spotlight with 17 LEDs. Fits in a car glove compartment. adjustable magnetic brace, or base, I should say, can mount on any metal surface for interior or emergency lighting. A 12-volt cigarette lighter plug with 6-foot 9-inch long cord, making the light accessible in most areas of the car as well. These would be good for emergency situations where you've broken down. Maybe you need to flag down somebody. You need to make yourself more visible. You can mount this on the hood of your car and keep it plugged into the cigarette lighter. So you'd be good to go with that. And it's a spotlight, or you can pretend to be a policeman, which is always fun too. I like to pull people over and then shoot them. My friend and I used to joke about how we pretend to be policemen and then pull people over and just steal their cars. Say we need them and we need your car, get out. Well, anyway, for $6, $6 you can get a locking luggage strap, which is good for keeping the TSA out. It's a TSA-proof lock, I suppose. It has 3 code wheels on it. I'm not sure what the proper word for that is, but it's a combination lock with 3 wheels on it. The digits go up to 9, of course, like any standard combination lock. And it's for securing your luggage. It's a luggage strap that locks. So that'd be good for if you're traveling, especially domestically, because then that would actually you can actually carry firearms on luggage if you're traveling domestically, not internationally. But this will help you secure your luggage if you are carrying a blueprint tape measure for only $1 on Hot News Talk Radio. We have a lot of cool stuff on Hot News Talk Radio. For $5, you can get component cable. That's good for connecting game consoles, home theaters, whatever, to your TV. For home theater, high-performance component video connections, you can get this for $5. Component video connection. It has the RGB plugs on it, so you'd be good to go. For $25, you can get Samsonite luggage. Samsonite luggage is actually coming back into vogue. The hipsters are really into that. For $25, you can get this Samsonite, looks like a suitcase. That's the word I was looking for. Get a Samsonite suitcase for $25. Has sort of a cool looking 1960s, 1970s pattern on it. Looks like it would be on your grandmother's love seat. It's a really cool looking pattern. You can get that for $25 on Hot News Talk Radio. $3 normally goes for $7.95, but for $3 you can get it. It looks to be in really good condition, and it's an analog wall clock, and that stays wall clock. That really is a good way to sort of class up your room. You know, you have all these digital clocks all over the place, but not many people still have analog clocks on their walls. So even if you can't read them, they might be pretty useful to you. Looking at the weather right now for us here in the Chattanooga area, it's 77 degrees right now in the Chattanooga. It's looking like temperatures are going to be going down to the 60s as the sun goes down. But on Saturday, we have temperatures in the 80s that are expected. By 3 p.m. tomorrow, it's probably going to be getting up to around 82 where it's peaking, and then going back down to the 60s by 12 a.m. tomorrow. So keep that in mind if you're planning out your weekend. Sunday, 0% chance of precipitation, which is nice. Wind at 11 miles per hour is what they're projecting for tomorrow, and 87 degrees is the high as well. On Monday, 88 is the high. Memorial Day looking like it's going to be a pretty nice day, although there's a 20% chance of precipitation. So keep that in mind as well, that the temperatures are going to be nice, but there's a chance of rain. So it might not be a very big chance of rain, but it is still a chance of rain. So keep that in mind as you're going to be traveling out around the world, around the world or around the city, hopefully. On Hot News Talk Radio, we let you know what the temperature is, and we'll keep you updated here. Search for Hot News Talk Radio. Hot News Talk Radio is on Twitter, where you report the world decides. That's AM 1240. Hot News Talk. Hot News Talk Radio. Also, we have Imus in the morning from 6 to 9 here on Hot News Talk Radio. We have a lot of great programming. From 6 to 9, we have Imus in the morning. From 9 to noon, we have Laura Ingram. And from 11 to noon on Tuesdays, we have Real Estate University, where Eric and John talk about the local real estate and real estate investment markets. From 12 to 1, we have my show, which is coming up next in about 20 minutes here on Hot News Talk Radio. My show is Digital Drive. We talk about not real estate. We talk about technology and how you can be secure in your about that as well here on Hot News Talk Radio from 12 to 1 about how the Patriot Act is quite well harming us, how Mitch McConnell is begging us to keep the Patriot Act in, but I'll tell you why we shouldn't on Digital Drive, which is my show from 12 to 1 right here on Hot News Talk Radio. From 1 to 3, we have Nuganomics.com with David Toulis, where he talks about local economy and free markets here on Hot News Talk Radio. And he's very Nuga-centric, which is the idea that near is better than far, economically speaking, that if you are buying locally, you're really helping local economy instead of the national economy, which is bound to collapse anyway. And if you buy into local economy, then you're really going to be helping out your local community here on Hot News Talk Radio. We're talking about that quite a lot. From 3 to 5, we have Sean Hannity as well. He's been interviewing a lot of different presidential candidates. He's been interviewing Jeb Bush. He interviewed Ted Cruz. I think he's going to be interviewing Marco Rubio. And I assume he'll try to interview Lindsey Graham, since I'm not sure if he's formally announced his run for president, but it's expected that he's going to try a run for president. Lindsey Graham is. And so we have that to be expected as well. He's been interviewing quite a lot of people on Sean Hannity's show here on Hot News Talk Radio. From 5 to 6, we have Hot News Now, which is what you will be listening to at 5 to 6 to get your local news and your local traffic and your local weather updates as well. Right there on Hot News Now, Mike Wood comes in with fast traffic now to let you know about the traffic conditions once every. That's AM 1240, so definitely give that a listen to keep. Where he's demanding that politicians cowboy up right here on Hot News Talk Radio from 6 to 7 every weekday here on Hot News Talk Radio. And then again after that is Sean Hannity, where he comes back and keeps us updated on the national events right there as well. And this is Hot News Talk Radio AM 1240. We're looking at the different items that we have on the website. $20 to get you a pair of new work boots, size 7.5 to 9.5. These look very similar, and actually some of them are, going by the looks of some of them. The Desert Storm era boots that were issued to troops on the ground back then. Some of them look like those, and some of them look more recent, like Iraqi Freedom era, but they're very much military-looking boots, and they go from sizes 7.5 to 9.5. I actually wear 13 and 14, so it wouldn't be much use to me. But if you have much smaller feet than I do, you can get these 7.5 to 9.5 size work boots. They do work really well as work boots. I've worn mine as work boots. They have steel toes, at least mine do. And they've been working really well for me, so I really can't complain. They're very sturdy. They hold up well. The only thing that I would change about them is that there's not a whole lot of support for your feet, really, if that makes any sense. Like, it's very flat, so I'd recommend getting a pair of those padded insole things, like from Dr. Scholl's or whatever. Just slap a pair of those in there, maybe an extra $5 for those, and you'll be good to go. That really does help a lot with the foot support inside these boots. So $20 can give you a pair of them. They go from sizes 7.5 all the way up to 9.5. And I wear size 13 and 14, so that's not a whole lot of help to me. But hey, what do you know? Big feet. I know. It's always been sort of a pain, because it's hard to get shoes that are my size. Like, it actually is really hard to buy shoes that are my size. Like, they don't make Converses that are my size. They just don't. I have to buy them on special websites for people who have big feet. Well, anyway. $5 get you a pretty ironic hat, a CIA hat, which you can get for $5. I might actually get one of those. I kind of like that. It's kind of funny. A CIA hat for $5 you can get on Hot News Talk Radio. Also a hat that says Orange County Choppers as well right there on Hot News Talk Radio. And that hat has sort of a mesh on it, so you can stay cool when you're riding your bike. You can stay cool and look cool here on Hot News Talk Radio. $20 will get you a Jordache, I might say. I think that's how you pronounce it. Carry-on bag. It has 2 large pockets on it, good for putting shoes in. Probably 2 pairs of shoes you could fit in there, maybe even 4 if you had flip-flops or sandals or whatever. You can get those for $20 on Hot News Talk Radio, and they look to be actually really sizable. And there's a main pocket on top as well. You could fit clothes, whatever. It'd be good for a business trip. $20, half off. Pitcher and water filter. It's a designer oval pitcher filter system. It has a large 2-quart oval pitcher that fits in most refrigerator doors, and 90% of mercury, 99% of copper and zinc, 96% of chlorine, 94% of particulates and sediment removal, and it reduces bad taste and odor as well. Keeps your water tasting fresh, especially if you have well water. That would be quite useful to you because you get a lot of minerals and ground stuff in there if you have a well. So you might want to look into that for your filtration system. For $10 each, you can get wall-mounted wall-mounted mailboxes. One of them is a locking mailbox that has a slot, and the other one is it kind of has a flap. And it's a locking steel wall mount mailbox that you can use. These would be good for that. You can mount it on the wall. It'll lock with 2 keys, and it includes concealed cam lock with 2 keys, both of them. You can buy those for $10 each on Hot News Talk Radio. Quite a deal. It's a steel set as well, and it looks really nice. For $19, I should say, you get a Lionel collectible train watch. I actually own one of these. I have had for well over 10 years now. I think probably about 15 years, actually. A Lionel collectible train watch you can get for $19 on hotnewstalkradio.com. It has real train sounds and amazing lifelike train sounds at the push of a button. You just push this button and the train goes around inside the face of the watch, and it makes sounds. The train does actually move, and it's really neat. It's just a really cool looking thing. If you want to be a little bit more modern than that, for $10, you can get a digital watch on hotnewstalkradio.com that's waterproof up to 30 meters. Get that on hotnewstalkradio.com for $10. $50 will get you pool sticks and a case. The pool sticks, of course, for playing pool, and the case comes with it as well for $50. You can get that on hotnewstalkradio.com. $10 to get you an electric staple and nail gun from Kingcraft. It has an easy-to-open magazine. The magazine holds up to 70 nails or staples, suitable for up to staples that are 18 to 14 millimeters and nails that are 18 to 15 millimeters, or rather 8 to 15 and 8 to 14, pardon me. And it has a 6-foot-long power cord, and one's on 120 volts, 60 hertz, of course, wall socket. It also includes 400 staples that are 10 millimeters and 400 nails that are 15 millimeters. You can load that into the Kingcraft electronic nail staple. Here on hotnewstalkradio.com. This is AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. We are everywhere. Listen live to Hot News Talk Radio at hotnewstalkradio.com. Download the TuneIn Radio app and search for Hot News Talk Radio. And Hot News Talk Radio is on Twitter, where you report the world of science. It's AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. Save half off now. Go to hotnewstalkradio.com. Click on the half off link for great deals. Hot News Talk Radio saves you money. This is AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. Looking at the weather again. It's about 77 degrees right now. If you're going to be going to Lake Winnie today, it's going to be a great day for it. It's 77 degrees right now in the Chattanooga area, and no chance of rain today or tomorrow either. So today and tomorrow looking pretty good. Sunday, no rain either, 87 degrees. And Memorial Day, 20% chance of rain, 88 degrees is what we're seeing there. This is Happy Hour, and we'll join you again with Digital Drive right here on Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240.
If you feel like a room without a roof, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth, because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Surgery does not have to be financially painful. Hi, I'm Surgical Dr. David Red, and I'd like to invite you to my walk-in surgery clinic in North Shore. Quick Surge brings you immediate relief from moles, skin tags, maybe a laceration. Quick Surge. You walk in, fill out a mini form, I numb the area I'll treat, and before you know it, you're on your way home. Do I take insurance? No, because I take cash customers. I have super low and fixed prices, credit card, check, or cash. Uninsured, member of the working financially disadvantaged, choose Quick Surge. I publish prices online. No murk, just sunshine. Hassle-free, pain-free. Love the idea of a personal relationship with a doctor? Drop in with a nasty cut from work. Quick Surge, I'll take care of you. Quick Surge in the Public Center on the North Shore. No insurance hassles with Quick Surge. The national medical system is dysfunctional, overpriced, very alienating. I'm part of the solution, and so are you. Come on home. QuickSurge.com. QUIKSURG. Relief.
When my brother and I opened the first Jets Pizza, we believe if we made the best pizza, 300 plus stores later, we still do.
Try Jet's famous 8-corner pizza with premium mozzarella cheese and one topping, now just $11.99 for a limited time only. Jet's Pizza, the best pizza in town. 3600 Hickson Pike.
Life is short. Eat better pizza.
Let's get Jets.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Right now, you can save half off at hotnewstalkradio.com. Go to hotnewstalkradio.com and click half off for exceptional deals on new and pre-owned unique quality items. For Hamilton County residents only. Save half off at Jet's Pizza, golf clubs, coffee, tea, a real sword, jewelry, and much more. It's half off. Go to half off at hotnewstalkradio.com right now, then click on half off to save big. Be sure to join us live Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays at 11 a.m. as we bring you lots of fantastic deals right here, AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. HotNewsTalkRadio.com and half off. Surf our site and ride the wave of savings.
Surgery does not have to be financially painful. Hi, I'm Surgical Dr. David Red, and I'd like to invite you to my walk-in surgery clinic in North Shore. Quick Surge brings you immediate relief from moles, skin tags, maybe a laceration. Quick Surge. You walk in, fill out a mini form, I numb the area I'll treat, and before you